But today's lesson ends up Jesus' final discourse. As we've been looking at the Gospel of John over the last few weeks, we've been looking at Jesus' last-ditch effort to pound some understanding into those disciples' heads as to what they were responsible for when he left. And he has told them throughout the 3-year ministry that they've spent time together, I'm going to leave you. I'm trying to teach you so that I can leave you and leave you prepared. And they're not really picking up on this because they're still looking for that warrior king to come riding in to defeat the Romans. And he's trying to teach them all about a different kind of kingdom. But today we get to the end of the final discourse at the Passover meal, just before Jesus is to be put on trial and crucified and buried. And I don't know if I have ever experienced a time in my life where this lesson, these few 6 verses that don't really jump out as important to a lot of people, but I don't think I've ever known in my lifetime a time in which unity among God's people has been so lacking. And that's what this is all about. Jesus prays for unity in his followers. The breakdown in community has caused rifts between politicians. Gosh, just look at Washington, look at Columbia, look at our local governments. Just because one wants to do something, the other one says no. This one says let's do it, this one says no. And we've gone into these red and blue tribes instead of these purple Americans. There's rifts between church members. I have watched over the 17 years that I've been pastoring this church. People come and go. People get bent out of shape, and they decide I'd rather go somewhere else than to be here. And families, just look at the families and the rifts in the families over being kicked out of homes. And I just lost a cousin who I was estranged from that side of the family because they've been so cruel to me and my family. And for some reason there was such a rift that when she died they couldn't even do a funeral. So there was no memorial plan. She was cremated, and eventually the 4 different kids are going to come together and scatter her ashes. Who knows when that'll be, though. Even neighbors, we rarely know our neighbors like we did growing up. If you think about when you were growing up, you knew everybody that lived around you. You knew everybody in your neighborhood. You went to school together, you went to church together, you played together, you did everything together, and now we're hard-pressed to even know anything more than who lives right beside us on either side. Rather than belonging to a community, many of us have decided we're just individuals, and we tend to isolate ourselves, and we tend to limit the relationships that we get into by who we were created to be. We were created for a relationship. We were not created to be an island. We were created by God's own hands to be in relationship with each other. Our gospel lesson this morning will give us the final words that Jesus gave his followers before he was to be crucified. And after some intense teaching on this Passover meal evening, Jesus closes with prayer, or a benediction maybe is a better way of putting it. But on the night that we're talking about, Jesus has taken off his robe and put a towel around him and washed the disciples' feet. He's identified one of his beloved that would betray him, and he has foretold about one of his most trusted disciples denying him in front of others. And so this meal seems to me to have done everything but unify the people who were gathered around that table. So Jesus did what he does best. He cried out to the Father. If you'd like to follow with me, I'm going to be reading from the 17th chapter of John, beginning with verse 20. I invite you now to hear the word of the Lord. And Jesus prayed, "My prayer is not for them alone. I pray also for those who will believe in me through their message, and that all of them may be one, Father, just as you are in me and I am in you. May they also be in us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me. I have given them the glory that you gave me, that they may be as one as we are one, I and them and you and me, so that they may be brought to complete unity. Then the world will know that you sent me and have loved them even as you have loved me. Father, I want those you have given me to be with me where I am and to see my glory, the glory you have given me because you loved me before the creation of the world. Righteous Father, though the world does not know you, I know you, and they know that you have sent me. I have made you known to them and will continue to make you known in order that the love you have for me may be in them and that I myself may be in them." This ends our reading for today. This is the Word of God, and it can be trusted. Thanks be to God. Jesus was preparing to leave the creation of a new community, which we call the church today, in the hands of the group of people that he was having dinner with that night. He knew the daunting task that lay ahead. He also understood the frazzled feelings of all those who were at the table with him that night. And so he closes in prayer, not only for those who were with him that particular meal, but for every believer that would come in the future. He was praying for every single one of us who gathers around this table every Sunday. What Jesus prayed for that night was a unity in spirit, a unity in purpose, as well as the ability to show the rest of the world a new way of living and believing and entering into and cherishing a relationship with God. If we look at the church today as a whole, we would be hard-pressed to claim the title one. Just in the United States alone, there are over 1,200 denominations. Worldwide, that number increases to 41,000. 41,000. From a single group of 12 to 41,000 is a pretty good indication that we have not followed the desire of Jesus to be unified in spirit and purpose. God knows how many churches have split over the color of the carpet in the sanctuary, or whether you have to be immersed in baptism or can be sprinkled as a baby, or whether you pass the Lord's Supper among you or you come to the table for port wine in a chalice of gold. I think much of the church's lack of unity comes from one main shortcoming. I believe there's one reason that we have not succeeded in remaining one in Jesus Christ. And I think many of the churches are looking for unity in the wrong direction. Somewhere along the line, the focus of unity has moved from embodying the love of God in Jesus to a misguided search by our own efforts. We've substituted doctrine and theology in a stringent method of rule-making that judges who's in and who's out for the simple message of unconditional and sacrificial love for one another in God. Jesus prayed, "Father, just as you are in me and I am in you, may they also be in us, so that the world may believe that you have sent me." In those 6 short verses, Jesus repeats the same idea, the same concept, the same challenge over and over again, just in different ways. The bottom line, he says, my followers need to be one with us as you and I are one. Jesus clearly lets us know that what creates a real and lasting unity in the church is demonstrated by the love, how we show love for each other and for God. Our unity also has a purpose in God's eyes. It's through God's love that we become one, and it is also through this love that we demonstrate to the world the beauty of a relationship and living a resurrected life. And why do we do that? Not just for our own benefit, but so that others may come to know the love of God. So that others may come to know salvation and what living a resurrected life is all about, and having that wonderful relationship. Just as Debbie said earlier when she was doing the prayers, have you had a good week? It's got a relationship with God. But given the wide variety of personalities and worldviews and cultures and political persuasions and the life lessons that we've each gone through, people in the church have to understand that it's only through the love of God that we can possibly be united. Those life lessons, those personalities, those worldviews, those cultural differences are meant to divide instead of bringing us together and celebrate. And it's only the love of God that can take that disparate group and bring us together as one. If we focus our efforts on promoting unity through the love of God, then we will be given the opportunity to be in community with each other in such a way that we show the rest of the world what it's like. And why do we do that? So that they too may believe.